think Marcus Smith, the creative director, and I were both here for Resistance 1. A lot of the team was here for Resistance 1.
We wanted to make a game where we allowed the player to choose the way they play the game, and absolutely the best way to do that is having all your weapons at your disposal.
I just think we just started feeling more comfortable with the idea of, like, we can be our own game. We don't have to do what every other military shooter is doing right now.
I think that it's just kind of in our company culture at this point to come up with crazy weapons.
It's so hard, like, always thinking of trying to think of new guns. I mean, between Ratchet and Resistance, I don't know how many guns have been through the series. What is going to be different? What else is left? What have we not done?
A lot of times we will go back to the Ratchet weapons and say, okay, it's kind of like this weapon, but we want to obviously make it different for this. The best thing about having such a lineage of having exotic weapons is we can go back through our kind of library of effects and library of functionality and say what worked, what didn't work, and what can we bring to the table here. The reason that we really went with the upgrade system was in Ratchet 2 you had a lot of different weapons, and we discovered that people would tend to kind of have their favorite and just go with it. And what the upgrade system did on a gameplay side was you kind of wanted to experience all the different weapons because you wanted to upgrade them as you went along. So by doing that you learned how good and what the advantages and disadvantages of each weapon were. That was what we brought to the table in R3, was how do we capture that? So we've kind of done it in our own unique way.
What can happen sometimes is that you wind up with a weapon that's really fun to use in a test level, but in the game it's either too slow, too cumbersome, or too difficult to set up, and so the player doesn't wind up using it. Like if you have a choice between using some exotic, difficult to use weapon and just shooting an enemy in the face, if there's no big tangible reward for using the exotic weapon, you're just going to pull out the carbine and keep shooting people.
Programmers and animators and effects guys really stepped up and went from taking these things that when we were prototyping them, they felt okay, but you weren't getting that visceral feedback, and they look fantastic now. They feel fantastic, they're fun to use, and they feel so different from what is in any other game.